Maintenance of trees is an important part of any society, especially during dry spells when it seems like the fruit is shrinking on a daily basis, as we see now. The solution to these dry spells would appear obvious: water. The water required for the Liberty variety can be quite costly, though. For a well established tree, it should have many deep roots to sustain itself with little effort from any particular root. The culprit that damages these trees is not visible. The critters live underground in the darkness, and their activities are well hidden from view. In fact, the only time you know they are active is by withering of the tree. Leaves will fall off, and if left unchecked, entire branches will die and fall off. You see, they attack the roots of the tree. These social parasites have beady eyes and can't see past the end of their own nose. When exposed to light, they panic, and sometimes the other critters will suicide the exposed critter, as we've seen. Liberty varieties require a small but steady supply of water that they acquire from their deep root structures established during the foundation of the site where they are planted. When a Liberty is planted, it is surrounded by a barrier to stop attacks at the roots. This barrier is usually made of a solid, faith-based law. These critters are cunning and often try to make their way inside before the barrier is completely installed. They will quietly multiply and even tear small holes in the barrier with their legal ease when folks are distracted. Like separation doctrine misinterpretation. Soon many more critters will come through the holes and tear more of the barrier out until critters from all over the world can come and start poisoning the roots with false paradigms and perverted visions of what is acceptable. As the roots lose faith, the water, which is small daily sacrifices to do what's right, the water starts to dry up. The real problems start usually several generations later, when the people who planted the tree are long gone and their way of life is gone with them. The roots become anesthetized after being poisoned for a while and lose their critical thinking skills. The roots no longer pay attention to the leaves falling and hardly take notice of how bare the tree has become. They simply don't know what can be done about it anymore, and assume someone will take care of it one day. The critters know before long they can cut the roots from the tree entirely and substitute their water for taxes. As long as the distracted roots feel like they are contributing something, they're satisfied, although the taxes diminish the roots substantially. The critters grow fat from the taxes, and their appetite is never satisfied. They continue a cycle of providing pats on the back for more taxes. All the while, the tree withers from lack of sustenance. Eventually, there are too many critters absorbing nearly all the efforts of the roots that they can muster to stay alive. At this point, the tree will have only a remnant of roots remaining to hold it up. But that remnant is wise to the critter's game and resolute. These roots, in fact, are all that is required to keep the tree alive. They must provide more water to make up for the many severed from the tree, and they do all they can to create more growth. These determined roots often call out to the gardener for help and receive it. The gardener has ground-penetrating optics that can see everything that goes on in the earth. He even knows the count of hairs on each critter's head. He provides extra fertilizer and makes it rain. And this establishes and makes the roots very strong. And it makes the critters uncomfortable to be near those roots. The fiery indignation generated by these roots frightens the critters. The critters in turn start spewing legalese and rattle handcuffs at the strong roots. In an attempt to break these tough roots, they make such a commotion, they wake up many of the other roots and lose control of the entire operation. Soon the taxes stop flowing, and they desperately scramble to scare the roots back into submission. With threats of disappearing retirements and stricter tax enforcement, they only established waking up more roots. They will be to no avail for these critters. Because the critters have squandered all the taxes and refuse to back off, the roots will collectively cry out, and the critters will be declawed by the gardener. Critters will spend their remaining days in some menial job or maybe in prison, watching the undoing of their life's work. The tree will survive and grow back strong as long as we call out to the gardener to help us, and we are willing to put forth the effort to mend it. That's something I put together today. I hope y'all appreciate it. Let me know what you think. Talk to you later.